Hello everyone, my name is Benjamin. Welcome to the Ecofarms. In today's video, we'll be learning and talking about the fundamentals of greenhouse farming. Are you an investor? Are you a farmer? Are you someone passionate about farming in the protective cultivation approach, or conventionally known as the greenhouse? And you're wondering what are the basics, what are the first things you need to know to have a successful farm outing? Stay tuned and you will learn a lot. Thank you. While farming is lucrative, a lot of investors have lost a lot of money because they did not put in the due diligence to learn the basics of farming. You may look into farming and think there is a lot of resources, a lot of profits, a lot of gains in farming. But when you get into the basics, you realize there is so much going on underneath than you know. In greenhouse cultivation, one of the key things you need to begin to think of before you make up your mind about investing is having a basic understanding of what it requires to have a successful outing in greenhouse investment. There are a number of things that is important for an investor to take note of. One of them is the choice of location. Where do I site my farm? What is the land I'm going to cultivate on? What's the security in this area? And importantly, what is the availability of water in this area? What's the weather like? Do I have to invest in artificial ways of cooling my vegetables, cooling my plants in the greenhouse, or the air and the environment is enough for me to minimally set up structures to manage the weather? So these key things are the first things to take into consideration. So we'll look at them. The first is the site. You have to identify an area that is not obstructive, that has ample availability of air, of wind, of sunlight. There are no obstructions. But importantly, you need to look at wind barriers. The greenhouse structures are like umbrellas. If the structures are not properly reinforced, winds can blow them off. So you are siting your location in an area where there are minimal obstruction, and importantly, there are wind barriers. Secondly, you need to look underneath. What are my soils? What is in my soil? Some farmers, we recommend in Ecofarms that you look into your soil by carrying out a comprehensive soil nutrient analysis. This result begins to guide you on what you need to augment in your soil. What do you have in abundance? And when you have that cleared out, the next things you need to look at is your water. A lot of farmers hurriedly go to set up farms only to realize the initial water they had wasn't sufficient. You need to look at your water. It's very key. If you understand this key sector, you may not have crisis. And not just looking at water, you need to look at what source of harvesting this water is sustainable. Am I going to power it through a generator? Generator is going to consume fuel. The fuel is going to be an overhead cost running. Of course, what is sustainable these days is a solar motorized pump. Do I have a stream? Is this stream going to run across the year? What happens during the dry season? Does the season dry, the river dry up? If the river dries up, how can I improve on it? Do I have to dam it? If I'm sinking a borehole, what is the best depth to go that I can have water across the season? Because the water table fluctuates. During the rain-fed farming, the water table is high, so you have a lot of water. When it's dry season, demand on the water wells are high, so you have water levels dropping. So you need to have these things into consideration.
Are you a farmer suffering from insect pests on your farm? This is a video you don't want to miss. Good day, I'm Moses from Ecofarms and Agroservices. We have developed an effective insecticide to help you fight insect pests on your crops. Profit. This will be a game changer.
And then the next thing is issue of security. A lot of farmers have put money into farming and security is a challenge. The neighborhood where I'm farming, is it peaceful? Is it safe? Is the community welcoming? If there are challenges, how can I relate with them? How can my workers relate with them? What community programs can I come with to embrace the community so they can embrace me? These are some key items a lot of farmers neglect and run into issues. While universally there are different types of greenhouse structures, at the Ecofarms, greenhouse structures are structured of two types. The longest is 8 meters by 40 meters. The smallest is 8 meters by 20 meters. So just the long and then the medium of the half of it. And so a lot of things now go into consideration depending on the land, depending on the location, depending on where you're growing, depending on the soil. And when you've had all those water availability, when you've had all those information sorted, the next thing you need to begin to look at is your foundational structure. What bears the weight of your greenhouse structure? If you visit us on the farm, we'll be able to show you more in details. But go 2 square meters, horizontally 2 meters and vertically 2 meters. You excavate and then you place your metal casing there. Metals are of different qualities available in the market. There should be metals that are thick. There should be metals that can bear the weight of the structure, because it's on that foundation you are anchoring the entire structure. If you compromise on the quality of your foundation, you are compromising on the integrity and durability of your structure. The structure we have here, it's a basic steel material reinforced with a profile that can have the wriggling wire, the anti-arthropode mesh, and then of course the PE film that will eventually go up. We have our structure here. The standard design is 8 meters in breadth by length 40 meters, and this greenhouse is designed to naturally ventilate itself. You do not need to spend extra resources trying to ventilate it. Warm air goes from out of the greenhouse, and cold air or less hot air comes from beneath, and the plants are comfortable. We have another important structure that we use currently where we're setting up our farms are in the plateau in Nigeria. The temperatures in the plateaus is rising. It's not as cold as it used to be. Originally we used to use completely transparent or the white PE film, but over the years we've observed that the peak of hot season, when the temperatures are very high, we've observed that our plants are stressed, and that will require we spending an extra money to install shade nets. So we have adopted to a covering material that reduces the intensity of light. It's a little bit greenish in color. It reduces the temperatures in the greenhouse, and importantly it also shades the plants in the greenhouse. Okay. So in this particular greenhouse, as you've seen from the previous videos, it's been covered by the PE film. It's been covered partially by the anti-arthropode mesh. Installations are still ongoing. But the first thing I want to point out to you is the planting area, the plant beds. In our greenhouse, we standardize it to have 6 planting beds. This helps us to stagger our production to be able to have a plant population of about 1,200 to 1,100. And workers can walk comfortably in between the ridges without obstructing the plants and the plant fruits and the planting area. The beds are also comfortable for you to run your drip lines. We usually recommend either one major drip line with double drip points or 2 drip lines with a singular drip point, and you can manage your grow area properly without having a challenge.